All right, let's dive in. This time we're tackling Stairway to Heaven, but not just the song itself.
Right.
We're going deeper, looking at how it was made. Those lyrics, everyone's debated for years.
Yeah, and even, some legal stuff it got caught up in.
Oh yeah, we're going there.
It's fascinating, really, how this one song, touches on so much like musical innovation,
Right.
rock and roll mythology, even copyright law. Gets kind of quirky.
To make sense of it all, we're using, what else? It's Wikipedia page.
Oh, the rabbit hole that is Wikipedia.
But seriously, buckle up, because even if you think you know Stairway, you're in for some surprises. I guarantee it.
For sure. Let's start with like the basic facts, but with a little twist.
Okay, I like it.
So, November 8th, 1971, Stairway comes out. It's on Led Zeppelin to Feet.
Peak Zeppelin era, right?
Oh, absolutely. They're already, huge titans of rock. But the music scene is changing, right? Prog rock is getting all complex.
Yeah.
There's this like folk revival happening.
So they're kind of riding that wave, but also doing their own thing.
Exactly. And Stairway, with its, 8 minutes?
Yeah.
It's like a journey, fits right in, yet it also stands out.
Okay, so let's get into the songwriting itself.
All right.
We've got Jimmy Page, right? Holed up in this like remote cottage in Wales.
Right.
And he's not just strumming an acoustic guitar.
No.
He's piecing together these pre-recorded bits. It's almost like a musical collage.
Yeah. Very different from, the image of rock stars jamming in a smoky studio.
Totally.
And then you've got Robert Plant, right? He's getting those iconic lyrics by a fireside at Headley Grange.
The story goes he just like scribbled them down as the music was playing.
Talk about being in the flow, man.
Inspired.
Yeah.
But it wasn't all like smooth sailing, was it?
Oh, no.
Plant, he's improvising those first lyrics.
Right.
Page is agonizing over like 3 different solo recordings before he picks the one.
They weren't just, churning out hits. There was real craft there.
It's art. Which brings us to the music. The music itself.
Right, let's break it down.
Yeah, because it's not your typical verse-chorus kind of structure.
No, it's more like a musical journey, right? With those distinct sections.
Yeah, and it's that journey that hooked listeners, and it still does,
Oh, absolutely.
That quiet intro, almost like medieval sounding with the recorders.
Right.
Was that common in rock back then?
Not really. Not really. It sets this mood, like mystical, almost Renaissance vibe before those 12-string guitar arpeggios kick in.
And the way it builds, it's not just getting louder.
No.
It's adding layers, the electric guitar weaving in.
Pulling you in, man.
It's like they're pulling you in, building this tension.
Yeah.
Before that explosive finale.
And then, of course, Page's iconic Telecaster solo.
Oh man, that's so.
For guitar nerds like myself, it's a masterclass.
I can only imagine.
Phrasing, bending those notes, making the guitar almost sing. But even beyond the technical stuff,
Yeah.
It's emotional, raw. It's the climax the whole song builds towards.
Speaking of captivating, there's this enduring mystery.
Ooh, yeah.
Who's the lady in the lyrics?
Right. So Peter Grant, Led Zeppelin's manager, he once pointed to Somerset Bellinoff, a cousin of Queen Elizabeth II.
Wait, royalty. That's a far cry from like the typical rock muse.
Right. Bellinoff was deep in the London art and music scene. They called her May Queen.
May Queen, I like it.
But also she was fascinated by the occult, just like Page.
So there's that connection.
Yeah, and it said her personality, this blend of elegance and a hint of darkness that informed the lyrics.
She was more than just a pretty face.
Oh, yeah.
A real character.
For sure.
And this is where it gets, a little murky, right?
Yeah.
These whispers about her and the Mothers of Darkness.
Okay, so the Mothers of Darkness that's a whole other deep dive waiting to happen.
Yeah, we'll save that for another time.
But in short, it's an alleged secret society shrouded in, rumor and speculation.
Right.
Whether Bellinoff had any real connection, it's highly debatable.
And to be clear, we're not, endorsing any conspiracy theories.
Well, yeah, I don't know.
Just laying out the facts as they're presented and encouraging you, the listener, to,
Think critically.
think critically about what you see online.
Absolutely. Like that wild story about Bellinoff's daughter supposedly owning a cannibal club restaurant in L.A.
Oh, I heard about that.
Pure fabrication, debunked by, reputable sources.
Yeah. Easy to get swept up in that stuff.
It shows how easily misinformation spreads, especially when you mix, rock stars and the occult.
It's a potent mix.
Yeah.
So was Bellinoff the true inspiration? I mean, the lyrics are open to interpretation, but it adds another layer to the Stairway mythos, doesn't it? What do you think?
I think it speaks to the power of music to, evoke imagery,
Yeah.
spark our imaginations.
Definitely.
And it reminds us that even behind, the most legendary songs,
Yeah.
there are real people with their own stories.
And speaking of legendary, let's talk about the impact Stairway to Heaven had.
Oh, yeah.
Because this wasn't just a hit, it was a cultural earthquake.
Absolutely. We're talking consistently ranked among the greatest rock songs ever.
Aw.
Over 3 million radio plays, best-selling sheet music.
It's huge.
And get this, Led Zeppelin refused to release it as a single.
You're kidding. Imagine a band today doing that with their biggest hit.
I know, right?
It shows incredible confidence.
Oh, yeah.
But also this commitment to the album experience, right? You had to buy the whole record to get Stairway.
Which led to, Led Zeppelin the Fifth becoming one of the best-selling albums ever.
Smart move.
Talk about a power move.
Totally, but not everyone was singing praises.
Right.
There's that Taurus controversy lurking in the background. It's wild, right? Like this huge band basically saying, you want the hit, buy the whole album.
And the industry blinked, man. It shows you the power they had, at that point.
Privately.
But back to this Taurus issue.
Yeah, let's get into that.
It's a story about like musical echoes,
Yeah.
Copyright law,
Oh.
and maybe a bit of rock and roll myth making.
Ooh, I like that. So
Set the stage for us.
what's the Taurus connection?
Okay, so we've got Spirit,
Okay.
a psychedelic rock band, not as big as Zeppelin,
Right.
but respected,
Yeah.
the scene.
Yeah.
In 1968, they released an instrumental track called, you guessed it, Taurus.
Okay.
Now, certain folks, they hear similarities between its opening and Stairway's intro.
Similarities how? Give us like the musical breakdown.
Okay, so we're talking the descending chromatic bass line, those arpeggiated guitar chords.
I'm following you.
Now, are they note for note identical? No.
Okay.
But the feel, the vibe,
Right.
some argue it's too close for comfort.
And this isn't just like some internet fan theory, right?
Right.
This went to court.
Oh, yeah, big time. Randy California, Spirit's guitarist, he wrote Taurus. He had, mentioned the resemblance during his lifetime.
All right.
But it's in 2014, years after his death, that a lawsuit is filed by his estate
Oh, wow.
and a member of Spirit.
Oh, okay.
They're claiming Led Zeppelin had access to Taurus since they, shared some bills early on.
Right, right.
And that Stairway infringes on its copyright.
So this wasn't just about money, it was about credit,
It's exactly credit where credit's due.
Right.
And it becomes like a legal battle royale.
Oh, man.
A jury initially sides with Led Zeppelin,
Okay.
but then there's an appeal, a retrial.
It just keeps going.
It goes all the way to the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals.
This thing dragged on for years.
Oh, yeah.
So what were the arguments? Was it just about those opening chords or was there more to it?
The lawsuit focused on the selection and arrangement of those musical elements.
Okay.
It wasn't about, single notes being the same,
Right.
but about the overall combination creating a similar mood and feel. The question was, did Stairway borrow too heavily from the essence of Taurus?
That's getting into some deep territory.
Oh, yeah.
What did the courts ultimately decide?
Okay, so in 2020, the Ninth Circuit ruled in favor of Led Zeppelin,
Okay.
saying the similarities didn't cross the line into copyright infringement.
So Stairway was safe.
Yeah, but this case, it really opened up a can of worms about, musical influence versus outright copying.
Yeah. Where's the line? It's tricky.
It's something songwriters and music lovers still debate, to
Absolutely.
this day.
So Stairway survived the lawsuit, but its legacy isn't all, smooth sailing.
Right.
We've got to address the elephant in the room.
Oh, here we go.
Or should I say the demon on the turntable?
The backmasking controversy.
Right. Buckle up, because this is where things get weird.
Oh, yeah.
In a nutshell, for those who haven't heard the tale, what's the backmasking claim?
Okay, so this is back in the 80s, peak satanic panic, when folks were convinced heavy metal was hiding, subliminal messages.
Right.
Some claim that Stairway, when played in reverse,
Oh, boy.
contains satanic messages, like, here's to my sweet Satan.
And this wasn't just some fringe theory. This caught on.
Oh, yeah, it blew up. There were public hearings, talk of warning labels on records.
Wow, it was a whole thing.
It fed into this fear of, rock music corrupting youth, a whole moral panic.
So what did Led Zeppelin make of all this? Did they ever, like, address it directly?
They mostly reacted with, amusement and a healthy dose of sarcasm.
Okay.
Their label famously said, "Our turntables only play in one direction, forwards."
That's a perfect response.
Right.
But beyond the humor, it highlights how easily rumors and fears can attach themselves to something as powerful as music.
Absolutely, especially when you mix in cultural anxieties.
Yeah, it's a potent mix.
It's a reminder, even today, to be critical thinkers.
Right.
Just because something is repeated online doesn't make it true.
Exactly.
Sometimes a backward message is just a backward message.
Okay, we've covered the legal battles, the weirdness, but let's get back to the heart of it.
Yeah.
The music.
The music.
What makes Stairway to Heaven so damn good that it's still resonating decades later?
It's that blend of, musical skill and emotional depth.
Okay.
The songwriting is top-notch.
Right.
The arrangement is complex yet accessible.
Yeah.
And the performance, well, it's peak Led Zeppelin,
You can't deny that.
Raw energy and finesse all at once.
And those lyrics, even if we don't know exactly who they're about,
Right.
they tap into something universal, right? That longing for something more.
Yeah, that journey we're all on.
Exactly.
And it's a sonic journey, too.
Right.
It starts so quiet, intimate, then builds to this epic crescendo.
It's like a movie for your ears.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, there's nostalgia at play too.
Oh, for sure.
For a lot of people, Stairway takes them back to, a specific time in their lives.
Right.
A first love, a road trip.
Yeah.
A moment of self-discovery.
Music is powerful like that.
It is.
It anchors our memories, becomes part of our personal story.
And Stairway, with its sheer ubiquity, it's become part of like a collective story too.
It really has.
It's almost like a cultural touchstone.
Yeah.
Even if you're not like a diehard Zeppelin fan, those opening chords.
Oh, yeah.
You've felt that buildup. It's seeped into our collective consciousness.
It's part of the DNA.
It really is.
Yeah.
But it goes beyond just music, doesn't it?
It does.
Stairway has sparked debates, inspired artwork,
Oh, yeah.
even become like a philosophical talking point.
It's transcended the boundaries of a song.
It really has.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of a deep dive like this.
For sure.
We can unpack the history, the music, the controversies.
Right.
But ultimately, the meaning of Stairway to Heaven is something each listener discovers for themselves.
Right. Exactly. It's a song that invites you to, bring your own experiences.
Yeah.
Your own interpretations to it.
And that's what keeps it alive, that ongoing dialogue between artist and audience. So as we wrap up this part of the deep dive, I'm curious, what stood out to you the most?
Oh, man, that's a tough one.
What's your Stairway story?
It really is amazing, how one song can just spark so many different reactions.
Absolutely.
Like for some people, it's pure nostalgia.
Yeah.
For others, it's like dissecting those riffs,
Right.
And then some people, they want to dive into those lyrical mysteries.
And that's what makes, Stairway such a rich subject for a deep dive like this, I think.
It's got those layers like an onion.
Yeah.
Or maybe a finely crafted song. Huh?
I like that. I'm gonna steal that.
Steal away.
Yeah.
But you're right. There's that surface level everyone knows,
Yeah.
right? But then you peel back those layers, like you said.
Yeah, the musical context, the band's personalities, those controversies.
And suddenly you're hearing the song differently.
Right.
Maybe those recorders take on a new meaning, knowing about, the folk revival happening at the time,
So, yeah.
or that guitar solo hits harder, knowing Page, like agonized over every single note.
It's all connected.
It is. It's all connected.
And that's what we're hoping you'll take away from this. Not just, some fun facts about Stairway to Heaven, but a new lens to hear it through,
Yeah, to hear and maybe even other music.
Exactly.
Because once you start, thinking about the context, the influences, the backstories,
Yeah.
it enriches the listening experience, I think.
It does.
You're not just passively absorbing it.
Oh,
you're
my.
you're actively engaging with the music.
It's a whole different way to listen.
It is.
And that's something we could all use a bit more of, right?
Oh, absolutely.
In this age of streaming and playlists. It's so easy to just, let the music kind of wash over you.
Background noise, yeah.
But taking the time to really dig into a song, it's so rewarding.
It is. It's like the difference between, glancing at a painting
Yeah.
and spending time studying it, noticing the brushstrokes, the colors, the artist's intent.
Got more out of
You
it.
get so much more out of the experience.
Absolutely. So as we wrap up this deep dive into Stairway to Heaven,
Yeah.
we encourage you to keep exploring.
Oh, yeah.
Listen to it again.
Listen to Taurus, even.
Right, compare them, see if you hear those similarities. Read up on Led Zeppelin.
Dive into the music scene of the early 70s, man.
There are rabbit holes galore waiting for you.
Oh, yeah.
And who knows, maybe you'll discover your own Stairway to Heaven.
Right.
That one song that sparks a deep thing.
Yeah, that sends you on a journey of musical discovery.
Because ultimately music is about connection, about shared experiences.
It really is. Even if you don't agree with, our interpretations or those of others,
Yeah.
the very act of discussing music, debating it, analyzing it,
It's all part of the fun.
it brings us together.
Yeah.
Sparks those conversations that make life, a bit richer.
It does.
So keep listening, keep exploring, and keep those deep dives going.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us on this journey into the heart of Stairway to Heaven.
It's been a pleasure.
Until next time, happy listening.